Hey guys, hope you're doing well today. It is a cold day out here today in Charlotte, guys. It's about 41 degrees and it's going to get colder as we head here through the weekend. And you know what else is cold? The housing market. Yes, so in just the last 6 months, guys, the tables have turned and things are really cooling off here. And in today's video, we're going to talk about the latest stats, and I'm going to share with you a report that just came out this morning that's really going to show us how cold this housing market has gotten. And 2023, guys, doesn't look a whole lot better, I'm sorry to say. So stick around, we're going to get after it right now. Hey, and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here and we haven't met yet, my name is Brian Taylor and I'm the owner of Dreamline Realty right here in Charlotte, North Carolina. If you're a returning viewer, thanks so much for coming back and checking out this video as well. So guys, a new report came out this morning from CNBC and it reads, home sales tumbled more than 7% in November, the 10th straight month of declines. It says sales of existing homes fell 7.7% in November compared with October, according to the National Association of Realtors. It goes on to say that home sales were down 35.4% year over year, marking the 10th straight month of declines, and that was the weakest pace since November of 2010, with the exception of May 2020, when sales fell sharply, albeit briefly, during the early days of the COVID pandemic. And in November of 2020, the nation was mired in the Great Recession as well as a foreclosure crisis. So guys, a 35.4% drop in home sales is a big number, and we're feeling it right here in Charlotte as well. Now, the numbers we just heard in that article are on a national level, so let's see what's actually happening right here in Charlotte. So guys, I'm walking by this house right here in one of the most desirable neighborhoods in Harrisburg, guys, and this house would have sold for over asking price 6 months ago, and I'm going to show you exactly why I say that in just a second. But the house has been on the market for 128 days, and the original listing price of this house started off at $739,900, and it's been reduced by 7% to $684,900. So guys, that's a $55,000 price reduction, and it still hasn't sold. And we're seeing these same situations play out all across Charlotte. And with these interest rates going up, buyers just aren't willing to pay these super high prices anymore if they can even qualify for a mortgage at all, which is why we're seeing that 35.4% reduction in home sales. And I told you this house probably would have sold for over asking price 6 months ago, and here is why I'm saying that. In this neighborhood, there were 3 sales that happened in May and June of 2022. Take a look at this house. It was listed for $692,700 and it sold for $755,000. That's a $62,300 over asking price sale. And then there's this one listed for $749,900 and it sold for $780,500. That's $30,600 over asking price. And then let's take a look at one more. This was listed for $649,900 and it sold for $675,000. That's $25,100 over asking price. And all of these homes, guys, sold in 3 days or less. And again, this one behind me that we just looked at has been on the market for 128 days and nobody is biting. All right, so let's get into the most recent data for November from Canopy MLS and take a deeper dive into the Charlotte market. And in May of 2022 is when we really saw the peak of the market here in Charlotte, as well as across the country for the most part. So every data point that I share with you, we are going to reference back to May, with the exception of one metric, and that would be the average sales price, which peaked in the Charlotte area around the June timeframe. That way we get the full story of what's happened here in just the last 6 months, and we'll go dive into this report and all of these metrics right now. So starting with new listings are down 27% since last year, and we sit at 3,350. That's a decrease from 6,136 in May. Now, what's interesting about this number is even though the new listings have gone down, the months of supply of homes has risen by 80% over year to 1.8 months. And then you might be sitting there thinking, well, that really makes no sense. I mean, if people aren't listing their houses, how come inventory is rising? And that's a good question. And it's because homes aren't selling as quickly as they used to, and they are sitting on the market for much longer, causing the active inventory numbers to continue to rise. And if we look back to May, we had 1 month of inventory, and now we have an increase of inventory to 1.8 months. So now let's take a look at pending sales. We're down 36.1% from last year with just 2,868 homes under contract. Guys, with higher mortgage rates and homes becoming less affordable, a lot of people just simply can't qualify for a mortgage and have taken a seat on the sidelines. So in May of 2022, we had 4,985 pending home sales. So you can see the drastic decrease in qualified buyers or people simply unwilling to jump into the market. And the same goes for closed sales too. We were down 35.9% from last year, sitting at 3,113. And that number makes sense, guys. If fewer homes are going under contract, less closings are going to happen. And if we go back to May, we had 4,812 closings. With decreases like this, guys, things don't look all that great heading into 2023. So hey guys, if you like this video, do me a huge favor and hit that like button. And if you want to keep up to speed on everything that is going on here in the Charlotte real estate market, consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss out on any of the new videos that I put out every single week. Now let's talk about days on the market. So we're up 61.9% from last year, and we sit at 34 days. And guys, wow, that is exactly what I was talking about with the home that I just showed you earlier in the video that has been on the market for 128 days so far. And as homes continue to sit like that, this number is going to go up. And in May of 2022, you can see that the days on the market sat at just 14. And just 6 months later, we're now at 34. Now let's look at the average sales price. We are up 8.6% from last year, and we currently sit at $443,290. But as you know, if you've been following my channel, I don't like looking at this metric on a year-over-year basis. I like to look at this metric on a month-over-month basis because prices are actually falling, and this number is a little bit misleading. So if we look back to June of 2022, the average sales price was $473,601. And now it is at $443,290, and you can clearly see that prices are not rising. In fact, from June to November, we are actually down 6%, and I see this number continuing to fall. I know a lot of people are asking me how far we're going to see these home prices drop, and for the most part, if you've been following my channel, I have said 5 to 10%. But as I see these things continue to play out, I think we could get to a 15% price correction before all the smoke clears. So now let's check out the original list price received. In November, sellers got 95.7% of what they listed their houses for, which is a decrease of 4.57% from last year. So in other words, if someone listed their house for $400,000, they would have actually sold it for $382,800. But check this out. In May of 2022, sellers were still getting over asking price at 102.8%. So from May to November, that is a 7.10% decrease in just the last 6 months. And again, I see this number continuing to go down. And finally, inventory of homes for sale went up 48.8% from last year, and we sit at 7,326 homes for sale. And again, this is not due to sellers flooding the market with new listings. It's because houses simply aren't selling as quickly. But if we go back to February of 2022, we saw the lowest levels of inventory sitting at just 3,313 homes for sale. Now that is a huge increase in active listings of 4,013, and until these interest rates, guys, come back down, this number will continue to go up, especially if we head into the spring market and more people potentially decide to sell. So guys, as you can see, the market in Charlotte has slowed down considerably, and I don't see things getting a whole lot better for us in 2023. And as these interest rates continue to hover near 6.5 to 7%, they're likely going to hang out there for most of next year. But if you need my help in your home search, give me a call, shoot me a text, or hop on a Zoom call with me so we can talk about your situation, put a face to a name, and talk about your time frame. And there's a link in the description below that will take you right to my calendar. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, do so now so you can stay connected on everything going on here in the real estate market here in Charlotte. And you may want to check out this video next, where I'm talking about the 2023 Realtor.com forecast. As always, guys, appreciate you watching. Make it a great day.